She walked into the precinct with the kind of calm that didn't make sense, not for someone who'd been slapped, mocked, shoved, and called slurs just minutes earlier. Sarah Johnson stood in the middle of the lobby, her posture perfectly still, her eyes locked onto Officer Torres with a quiet intensity that made the air itself feel heavier. "I need to see the mayor," she said, voice steady as stone. Torres burst into laughter so loud it echoed off the lobby walls. "The mayor doesn't meet with trash off the street. Security." He waved two guards forward. "Get this monkey out of here." The guards stepped toward her, hands drifting to their batons. Sarah didn't flinch. Instead, she reached into her jacket pocket with deliberate calm. Every officer's hand tensed on a weapon. Every breath in the room paused. "Officer Torres," she said quietly, pulling out an envelope, "I am your new chief of police." The lobby fell silent. For a split second, nobody moved. Even the red security camera light blinking above seemed to freeze. Then Torres exploded into hysterics. "You, police chief." His belly shook as he doubled over. Other officers joined in, laughing, jeering, pointing. Only one officer didn't laugh, Amy Parker, standing near the water fountain. Her face had gone pale. Sarah handed Torres the document, "My appointment letter, signed yesterday by Mayor Richardson." Torres ripped it from her hand, read it, and his laughter died. His face shifted, then darkened, then twisted, and slowly, deliberately, he tore it to pieces, first halves, then quarters, then tiny shreds that floated to the floor like dead butterflies. "Nice forgery," he spat. Amy Parker's shaking hands lifted her phone. She'd been recording since the first insult. "That was an official document," Sarah said. "You just committed a federal offense." Torres stepped so close she could smell his coffee, stained breath. "You know what's an offense," he growled. "You, a lying piece of ghetto trash disrespecting real cops." He snapped at the guards. "Drag her out. If she resists, use force." But they hesitated. Sarah still hadn't moved. That scared them more than anything. Torres opened his mouth to bark again when heavy footsteps echoed from the stairwell. Slow, deliberate, expensive shoes on worn linoleum. Mayor Richardson appeared at the top of the stairs, flanked by two councilmen. The officers straightened instantly. "Mayor Richardson," Torres blurted, "Sir, this woman was causing a disturbance, claims to be chief. I see you've already met some of your staff," the mayor said sharply. Silence drowned the room. Torres's face drained of color. Sweat pooled at his temples. "Sir, I didn't. Nobody told me, apparently not," the mayor said coldly. "Chief Johnson, I apologize for this." Reception. Sarah brushed shards of her shredded appointment letter from her jacket. "No need, Mayor Richardson. This has been educational." Her calm terrified Torres more than any shouting ever could. She scanned the room, memorizing faces. Her gaze landed on the open duty roster on Torres's desk, its mismatched schedules, ghost shifts, suspicious gaps. And then Director Hayes from Internal Affairs appeared on the balcony, his face white as paper, because he already knew the truth. The real investigation had just begun. Mayor Richardson raised his voice. "This is Police Chief Sarah Johnson, your new commanding officer." Torres collapsed to his knees. "No, no, no," he whispered, hands trembling. "Chief Johnson, please. I have kids. Don't fire me, please. Please." Sarah's voice went cold. "Stand up, you're embarrassing yourself." But he couldn't. His arrogance had hollowed out into a whimpering ruin. "I want the security footage," she said, "now." Amy Parker hurried to the computer, fingers shaking. The screens lit up, multiple angles, past days, past weeks. "Go back 1 week," Sarah ordered. The footage rewound. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, each day was the same. A black woman approaching the desk. Torres screaming, security dragging her out, an elderly black man shoved, a black teenager thrown into a wall, 5 victims, 5 days, all black, all treated like animals. Gasps filled the lobby. Officers stepped back from Torres like he carried a deadly disease. "You've been hunting," Sarah said quietly, "haven't you?" Torres mumbled prayers into his shaking hands. Hayes rushed forward. "Chief Johnson, let's discuss this privately, away from these cameras." Sarah didn't even look at him. "Director Hayes, how interesting that you're here." He tugged his collar, misunderstanding, first-day confusion, these things happen. Sarah's eyes narrowed, a misunderstanding. Is that what we're calling assault now? Hayes leaned in, whispering, Chief, you don't understand how things work here. There are arrangements. Sarah's voice was blade, sharp. 20 years of what exactly? He said nothing, but his eyes gave him away. Sarah raised her voice, locked the building down, effective immediately. Nobody leaves. Panic rippled through the room. The heavy clank of bolts echoed through the station. A 48-hour investigation began, one that would burn the entire department to the ground. Hours later, IT pulled months of footage. Patterns emerged. A new camera installed last month had audio. High-definition audio Torres didn't know about. The recordings exposed everything. Hayes calling her a black woman who'll be easy to control. Torres bragging about threatening a vendor's daughter. Plans to break her spirit on day one. A system of extortion that had lasted 20 years. Then came the ledger in Torres's locker. Names, payments, signatures. Hayes's signature beside his, every victim accounted for, thousands per week, millions over years, ghost shifts, fake overtime, missing funds, a criminal empire disguised as a police department. By the second night, officers who'd stayed silent for years began confessing. Fear poured out of them like poison leaving the bloodstream. By dawn of day 3, the janitor, quiet old William, handed Sarah a flash drive. Security footage Hayes thought he deleted. Bribery, meetings with councilmen. Money, stuffed envelopes exchanged on stairwells. The program, created in 2005. A system designed to scare black vendors so badly they'd pay whatever was demanded. 20 years of institutionalized racism. 20 years of extortion, all preserved by a janitor nobody saw. Then Marcus, the IT specialist, froze at his computer. Chief, Hayes just triggered something, a phone call. The audio from the new lobby camera loaded. Hayes's voice, code red, burn everything, meet at the warehouse, and Richards, this black B** has to go. Sarah recognized the second voice instantly. City Councilman Richards. They had the smoking gun. Hayes stood up in his office ready to run. No, Sarah said, he's going to confess. She hit the intercom, all personnel to the main hall, mandatory assembly. 50 officers gathered. Torres sat in the front row, handcuffed and broken. Hayes leaned against the wall, trying to look unfazed. Sarah stepped to the podium. 72 hours ago, Officer Torres assaulted me. That assault opened a door to 20 years of corruption. Faces of the victims appeared on the projector behind her. Chen, Washington, Martinez, hundreds more, over $10 million extorted. She said, protection money, bribes, racist violence, gasps, shame, disgust. Then audio filled the hall. A black woman, she'll be easy to handle. Tell him his daughter walks to school alone, break her. The room erupted. Sarah began reading charges. Officer Torres 37 counts of assault, 200 counts of extortion, conspiracy to commit racially motivated crimes. This is bull *****. Hayes shouted, pushing off the wall. I ran this department for 20 years. Exactly, Sarah said. Director Hayes, corruption, racketeering, theft of public funds, witness intimidation. Suddenly 5 senior officers stepped in front of Amy Parker as she moved to cuff the men. Sergeant Mills sneered. Nobody is arresting anybody. We all lose money if this system collapses. My mortgage, Bryant's wife's cancer treatment. You're destroying lives, dirty money, Sarah said. Easy for you to say, Mills snapped. You don't have kids. The room split down the center, half behind Mills, half frozen. The tension was a lit fuse. Sarah stepped forward, fearless. You swore to protect the people, not prey on them. They're not my people. Mills snarled. Then you're not my officer. Her words cracked the room open. 10 quiet seconds passed. At second 8, Bryant stepped back. My wife wouldn't want blood money. At second 9, 2 more officers retreated. Mills stood with one supporter. You're destroying good cops' lives, he said. A young officer, Jackson, stood. They destroyed themselves when they chose greed over honor. More officers stood with him. Young ones, the ones who still believed in the badge. 40 officers faced Mills. Sarah addressed him. "Sergeant Mills, you are under arrest for conspiracy." His hand moved toward his gun. Every officer stiffened. "Choose carefully," Sarah warned. "Your next decision decides whether you retire or die in prison." Silence. Then Mills lowered his weapon and placed it on the ground. Amy stepped forward. "I've been silent too long." She lifted her phone. "I recorded everything, 2 years of it." Her footage filled the screen. Taurus taking bribes, Hayes counting money, Mills shoving vendors. A waterfall of confessions followed. Officers admitting what they saw, what they ignored, what they feared. The dam finally broke. The truth flooded the hall. Sarah looked at the exhausted, shaken officers. "This department dies today," she said. "What rises tomorrow depends on all of you." She called Amy forward. From her pocket, she pulled a badge. "I need an assistant director of internal affairs, someone who faced darkness and chose the light." Amy's voice broke. "I don't deserve it. You earned it the day you hit record instead of delete." The room erupted into applause. Sarah wasn't done. "From now on, body cams stay on. Complaints go to an independent review board. Overtime requires video proof, and every officer, every single one, will meet the community face to face every month." She stepped forward, voice ringing with authority. "Transparency isn't a word, it's a weapon, and we're using it." She turned to the hall of shaken but hopeful officers. "This department was built in darkness, but we're turning on the lights, and trust me, every last shadow will face justice." For the first time in 20 years, the station no longer belonged to Taurus, Hayes, or the corrupt few. It belonged to the truth. It belonged to Sarah Johnson, and this was only the beginning.